Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found, and of course taped live at the Twitch at twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about NXT 2.0 and the USA Network now allowing vulgarity on their shows, Larson. Although it was beeped, it was pretty awesome.
And they pixelated Santos when he said it.
They did. We're also going to clown the new Ring of Honor logo. But first, let's talk about this, man. Kota Ibushi, seemingly, very probably, could be leaving New Japan Professional Wrestling. Larson, what's going on with this? What's happening with the Golden Star?
So I try to do like the Cliff Notes version of what's going on.
It's pretty complicated story.
There's a lot. So former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Kota Ibushi has been out of action since late last year after suffering a shoulder injury during the G1 final against Kazuchika Okada. He was announced as a participant in this year's New Japan Cup, only pulled from the tournament shortly thereafter. Yesterday, Ibushi took to Twitter to express frustration and seemingly he has a beef with some in New Japan's upper management. So Ibushi posted screenshots, text messages with a New Japan talent relations executive named, I apologize if I get the name wrong, Kikuchi, who had apparently threatened to fire Kota Ibushi after Kota made an appearance at a Just Tap Out show on March 5th without the approval of New Japan. Ibushi threatened to expose, quote, the sexually harassing bosses from the company's president's lies to his unreasonable power harassment. So Voices of Wrestling followed with an extensive write-up, which stated that Kikuchi told Ibushi that he needed to be ready to wrestle by Wrestle Kingdom 16, which was 3 months after his shoulder injury. Ibushi stated that he didn't want to return to the ring until he was fully recovered from said shoulder injury. And then Ibushi then told New Japan that he was ready to return from the New Japan Cup. He was put in the tournament. He was booked to win the tournament, only to be pulled by Kikuchi on the advice of a doctor over a, quote, minor concern. Voices of Wrestling also reports that Ibushi and Kikuchi have a beef going all the way back to 2018 when Kota felt that Kikuchi had shorted him on merchandise royalties. Dave Meltzer commented, says, quote, there is more than smoke to the fire. Ibushi has problems with upper management that are significant. Gato is trying to smooth them out, but it's not settled.
Oof. That'd be a pretty big loss for New Japan if Kota Ibushi. I mean, look, they're getting along, I guess, fine, and while he's been out, but still he is, from what I understand, a pretty big draw over there, massively popular. He's one of the best wrestlers on the planet, a unique individual to say the least. It's disappointing to learn that there are some, seemingly bad faith actors in upper management at New Japan, that are, carrying out some petty grievances apparently with him, and trying to force him into situations that he doesn't feel comfortable in. And
I guess one aspect that I think Voices of Wrestling mentioned that I did not put in the notes, but I'll mention here that are worth mentioning is that I guess the feeling is that Kikuchi is a bit of an old school, has a bit of an old school attitude towards the business. Like, if you supposed to keep kayfabe outside of the ring, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I guess apparently Kota Ibushi felt like Kikuchi wasn't necessarily implementing that philosophy equitably.
Yeah.
There were some double standards in terms of who he'd get on for not being sufficiently old school enough versus some that he would let stuff fly.
Yeah. Man, I don't, we are nowhere near well versed enough in, we have, given that, there's so much reporting about the goings on behind the scenes at WWE, comparatively speaking, and AEW, comparatively speaking to New Japan. There was that situation a while ago when the New Japan president seemingly didn't have the confidence of the guys in the locker room. This seems to be a different situation than that. But yeah, we're not really all that well versed in what's going on there to really speak in too much in depth here.
Yeah,
beyond true. To say that I don't know who this guy is, but I want Kota Ibushi in my New Japan. And I don't know this other guy. He can go now.
Yeah, I know. Well, apparently the deal was that he was working for New Japan in the merch department. His contract expired. They let him go when Harold Mage was running the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess Dick Togo lobbied to bring him back.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's from Voices of Wrestling as well.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where this goes. Like I said, we unfortunately we don't have the ability to cover as much New Japan as we'd love to here at Going In Raw. But, we cover the major shows. We usually put most of them in our predictions to sort of force ourselves into understanding what's going on over there. But yeah, man, that's an absolute bummer.
It is a bummer. And I guess, if Kota Ibushi ends up exiting New Japan, I guess a lot of people would think, based on his friendship with Kenny Omega, he would maybe end up in AEW. But then at the same time, AEW has this working relationship with New Japan.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
If there's tension between Kota Ibushi and New Japan,
yeah.
And if he were to go to AEW, would that cause tension with AEW's relationship with New Japan? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a great question. I mean, I wonder if New Japan's upper management would have the solidarity to perceive it that way, or if it's like, okay, well, there's a subset of, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, and on top of that, AEW, they do have, I'm sure Kenny Omega would love that to happen. And, obviously as an EVP, he's got some amount of pull. And I do kind of get the feeling that the arrangement, I mean, this is just from my point of view, the arrangement between AEW and New Japan benefits New Japan a bit more than it does AEW. New Japan's trying to make an expansion out here westward as they were prior to AEW, and they probably would have been a lot further along had it not been for AEW. And they're still trying to do that. They're doing some really terrific stuff with Strong, but I think they want a beefier presence out here in the United States. And AEW sort of set up to help them accomplish that a little bit more. I do feel that New Japan benefits more. I mean, look, AEW is going to get plenty of buzz off this Forbidden Door thing. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, I think Tony Khan just said that this Forbidden Door show is the first time they sold $1 million worth of tickets for a show.
Yeah, and that's great. But like AEW, they'll be trucking along regardless with their giant TV. What the next TV deal for AEW is probably going to be huge. Yeah. It's going to be definitely a step up from what they're doing now.
Oh, significantly, yeah.
And that's what we sort of understood. That's where a lot of the money comes from. So
I mean, that's where most of WWE's money comes from.
The vast majority of it, yeah.
TV
totally.
Contracts, yeah. I mean, like live, my understanding is live shows, especially just live events, are such a small amount of what makes up WWE's financial pie, if you will. And I think it would be even more so for AEW because AEW doesn't do house shows. Right,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes, what happens, et cetera, et cetera. Want to give a quick reminder to the friendos out there. If you're in Southern California, myself and the Enforcer also just confirmed. We have signed also the Undead Commissioner Ulysses. He's going to be here too. We all got tickets to LA Fights May 21st at the Ukrainian Cultural Center down in LA. And we got, at least me and the Enforcer, I'm not sure about the Undead Commissioner Ulysses, but me and the Enforcer, we got ringside front row tickets. Woo-hoo. They broadcast this live on YouTube for free gratis. Mm-hmm. But if you're in the area, come to the show, hang out with us, get a 2 sweet, get a fist bump, whatever, get a picture, I guess. I don't charge for pictures, Larson. I probably should. Yeah. I'd make a mint.
I would never.
I'd make a mint.
I would never charge for pictures.
Like Edward James Olmos at that San Diego Comic-Con I was at. He's making like $60 a picture, dude.
Yeah. But sorry, Steve.
Lou Ferrigno.
Edward James Olmos.
Surely I'm a Lou Ferrigno. Lou Ferrigno.
Nope.
Anyways, Larson, you wanna pay some bills?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's take a quick break here to get a word from our sponsor, Lumen. Hey, Steve.
Yeah. Let's talk skincare.
So I'm sure I'm not the only one who thought that washing your face with the same body wash or bar soap I use the rest of my body was a quality skincare routine. Well, it Turns out I was wrong. That's fiction. In fact, it turns out that body wash or soap I was using all those years was actually damaging my skin.
Oof. But with Lumen, you can drop that bottle of 3-in-1 and start using products that actually take care of your skin. Lumen's products aim to help those with stubborn acne, scars, under-eye dark circles, wrinkles, sun damage, dry skin, and oily skin. And getting started is easy. All you got to do is take the 2-minute quiz on their website, and they'll tell you which skincare routine is best suited for your needs.
Yeah, I took the quiz and got the anti-fatigue essentials set to help with these dark circles I keep getting under my eyes. And it's great that Lumen's products come with instructions, because those of us who are just used to like rubbing a bar of soap on our faces and calling it a day will now just have to follow an easy step-by-step process to help protect our skin.
So level up your skincare game with Lumen Skin today. Go to lumenskin.com/raw to get your free trial of Lumen's products.
That's LUMIN skin.com/raw to get your free trial of Lumen's products. Lumenskin.com/raw. Before we get back to the show, let's get a word from our sponsor, Blender's Eyewear. Fresh from the sandy beaches of San Diego, California, comes my new favorite sunglasses brand. I'm talking about Blender's Eyewear. Steve, check out these ice crush shades I got for my morning walks. I'll wear them out on my errands. They fit great, and they look even better.
Yeah, man, look at these. I got some stone breakers. Look at these guys. Wear these anyway.
Oh, man.
I know, right? Don't I look super cool? Anyways, Blender's founder Chase Fisher started the company to create adventurous, mid-priced eyewear, and Blender's team of in-house designers continue that philosophy by coming up with new styles, like my Stonebreakers. Or they also have orange polarized wraparounds. Think like Bret Hart sunglasses, but they're orange. They also got stuff like tortoise shell frames with purple lenses. Who'd have thought? Tortoise shell frames along with purple lenses? What kind of combo is that? It's amazing.
A great combo is what it is. And unlike expensive big brand shades, Blenders are affordable while still offering the same cool factor as other leading styles. And Blenders has more than sunglasses. They also offer prescription glasses, readers, and blue lights, as well as a snow collection with goggles and accessories. So live life in forward motion with Blenders today.
To score 15% off your Blenders purchase, visit blenderseyewear.com and enter promo code RAWVIP. That's blenderseyewear.com, code RAWVIP for 15% off. Blenders, rocked with pride worldwide. I like that your blenders, like, you got to lift, they're dark. They're like if it's bright outside, which is it's summertime, so you're going to need those.
Yeah, and I keep my monitor kind of dim because it's really bright.
So you're like, look at me, I'm so cool. Where was I?
I know.
Oh,
speaking of cool, let's talk about this. So it looks like we may have gotten our first glimpse at the new look of Ring of Honor, Steve. So ROH Acquisition Company, LLC, filed trademarks May 6th. Filed trademark applications on May 6th for both the name Ring of Honor and the ROH initials. And among all that paperwork, apparently we gotten our first look at the new Ring of Honor logo.
I'm going to put this sumbitch up on the screen because I got it right here.
Good.
I downloaded it. So unfortunately for those of you in the audio realm, there's no way we can, manufacture this for your ears. But
yes.
Yeah, check this thing out. Look at that guy. All right, Larson, time to roast. Do you need some self-storage? Go to Ring of Honor.
Here's the thing. First, the positive.
Yeah.
The old Ring of Honor logo was not good.
No, it was like a tribal tattoo. It's trash.
This is at least it's clean, it's simple, it's easy to read. Yes, Will Terminator says it says TBS. Very funny. It does look a lot like the TBS logo.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like a kind of a
does.
TV. Yeah, I could see this as like a cable thing. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And it looks like it could be like a fast food establishment.
Oh yeah, yeah. Ring of hotcakes.
Yeah, Ring of hamburgers.
Ring of hamburgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
it's not as bad as the previous one. I'll give it that.
The previous one is the previous one. You know what I mean? Like, it's just been around for so long that you're sort of used to it. But it's a trash logo. It's not good.
It's awful.
This look, I'll be honest with you. This right here, yes, it's everything we just said. But this is it's always, when you see like any logo that is simply the font and the font arrangement and stuff, against the trademark. They just do. They don't have all like the textures that are going to be involved, all the fancy TV presentation, the colors. This thing might be in pewter or chrome or something cool like that.
It could be all Volt. We don't know.
Look, this is just fine. I mean, I don't know how it's going to look on a T-shirt if they want to go simple with a T-shirt. But I'm willing to. It's not like you look at the AEW logo. It's not like that's all that special either. When it's just presented in black and white or grayscale or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. It's always easy to trash a logo in its infancy stage.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure this will be fine. I do kind of like how clean it looks, how basic it looks. I mean, the outside box here does kind of look a little bit like what Jack in the Box is doing with their logo these days.
Yeah. It looks like it's a two-tone thing, whether it be two different tones, the same color, or two different colors.
Right. Yeah. Or it's like there's like it's like this, the light's coming over here from the left hand side.
Oh, it could be like a bevel too. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. That's what I was taking it as, like a bevel. Yeah.
A bevel, like this has been etched in stone.
Mm-hmm.
Or metal.
Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
So my thing about Ring of Honor is simple. You got Tony doing I'm actually really happy about this, because the one thing that Ring of Honor, you and I both agree on that needed a change for ages ago, they needed to keep up with the times in their TV production.
Yes.
They elected to keep a very simple, very dry TV production, and it just lacked any sort of excitement. Mm-hmm. And it's like you have all these great wrestlers there, but it all lacks excitement. And so I'm hoping that they're going to do a complete overhaul of the TV production aspect of things. Obviously it's Ring of Honor, focus on the really good wrestling, but jazz up the production a little bit. It always seems so dead, and then you'd see the fans, and they all seem like they couldn't give a shit either. So
I would suspect we're going to get maybe a slightly bare bones production approach to what we see on Dynamite and Rampage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
obviously it's not going to have the huge stage. I mean, depending where the shows are going to be held at. We're going to get smaller stages.
Yeah, it all depends
smaller
on
venues.
Like, where is this are they going to do monthly shows? Are they going to do TV tapings? What are they going to do?
I imagine they'll probably do TV tapings. Maybe they'll do them in Universal in Orlando, where they've been doing some dark and elevation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If they have that space and they can get a consistent crowd, even if it's just 300-400 people,
mm-hmm.
and they got the stuff set up, they might use the same set. I don't know.
You know what? I say go full on Wrestling Society X. I'm talking about CG. I'm talking about like dudes coming in and altering space time. Piranha matches. Bring back I'll be honest with you. Tony Khan should have just bought the rights to Wrestling Society X and redid that. That would have got me a lot more hyped up.
Really?
Ring of Honor. Well, who cares? Let it go. Nobody cares about wrestling. They want to see piranhas eating people.
I don't think that even really happened in Wrestling Society X.
Well, of course it didn't happen, man. Kayfabe. That's all good. I don't want to think that somebody's actually getting eaten by piranhas, just like I don't want to think people are actually passing out to sharpshooters on NXT 2.0, Larson.
I think the idea is that you want to... I remember watching that episode. I don't remember even thinking, maybe someone in kayfabe even got eaten by piranhas.
Well, you need to open your mind a little bit, man.
I think it was just the threat of being eaten by piranhas.
Yeah, scary. But then you actually do it. Blood and guts.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
we're in agreement there.
Oh, okay, cool. So you're down. So yay on piranhas eating people.
Well, I mean, but not like real, but yeah.
Yeah, but in kayfabe.
Give me the idea it's actually happening. Of course.
That'd be great, right?
Yeah, of course it would.
Bring back Wrestling Society X, Tony. Come on.
Yeah,
we need some episodes. We need to pop some ratings here at Going in Raw. Every time you buy something, it pops our ratings.
It does. It totally does.
Anyways.
Let's talk NXT 2.0.
I thought this episode had a bit of a pep in its step, man.
It really did. I thought it had a good energy to it, a good pace. It focused on in-ring action. I felt like there was a lot of good matches. The main event was awesome.
Yeah.
Every match but one focused on the women's division, and the one match that didn't was a mixed tag match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they really put the spotlight on the women's division in NXT 2.0, and across the board delivered. I thought it was great. Awesome.
You know what, man? I've been very hot and cold on that NXT crowd this week. I feel like they really, if NXT's creative misfires, that crowd is savvy to it.
Yep.
They booed the shit out of Cameron Grimes, a guy who we both say has come off as lobotomized. It's not working. The crowd was booing the shit. They are cheering. One of the most over guys is Solo Sikoa, as well as he should be, man. I love his presentation. I love what they're doing with him. I think he's been pretty great. They
dumped all over Joe Gacy tonight.
Because it was trash.
It was trash.
It was this bargain basement Bray Wyatt shit that they're doing with them that we've seen a million times before, and there's no point to it. So of course they dumped all over it. I loved it. I thought that was really good stuff. I thought there was a lot to like. I really like the addition of Damon Kemp to Diamond Mine. I like that Roderick Strong is a bit. We saw a little bit of like the Undisputed Era version of Roderick Strong, where he was a bit snarkier this week, and that's not going to end well for anybody. But I think Damon Kemp is a killer. Man, what are the odds that Damon Kemp has a longer career in WWE than his brother? I know it's like so stupid to speculate right now, but I love his presence. He seems like a natural. Like he's very natural in front of the camera. He seems
like a natural performer. Yeah.
He gives me in terms of like his sort of vibe, he gives me like Keith Lee vibes. Yeah. A guy who he's very confident in himself. He's very calm. He ain't going to fuck you up unless he needs to. And there's no need to sort of like put up a front. And I love that about this guy, man. And on top of that, he's got all the credentials. When I see, sometimes it might not be a great idea to just throw somebody in the spotlight. And we haven't seen anything from Gable Steveson yet, but so far from what I liked from the reason I bring him up is because of his brother, Damon Kemp. I like what I see a lot so far. And I think Diamond Mine's a really good fit with the Creed brothers, who I really like too. Yeah.
And it seems to me that Damon has one advantage. He's going into this situation with not nearly the same amount of pressure.
Oh,
that his brother has.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's in a situation where he's in NXT and he can develop at more or less his pace, but I guess apparently they have 90-day cycle evaluation cycles in WWE now. Apparently, and if he's not up to par, I guess the pressure's on. But he doesn't have to be a huge star right away.
Yeah,
which I think is the expectation for Gable Steveson. Massive star immediately as soon as he shows up full time on Raw. And that's a lot of pressure. Not to say that Gable can't handle it. I don't know. But Damon's in the situation, he can just develop and grow as a performer.
See what works, see what doesn't work
at a more reasonable pace, probably.
Yeah, with a much less bright spotlight on him than his brother's going to have, because they're going to expect huge things. I mean, they built the whole facility for the guy. They're going to expect huge things out of Gable Steveson. And Damon Kemp, you're right, man. He just comes in. But so far, man, if I have these guys side by side, I'm looking at Damon Kemp. I'm not looking at Gable Steveson. Like, there's something about his look. I'm like, oh man, like it really comes across on camera. Not everybody just has that thing,
I know.
But maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe Gable Steveson will knock it out of the park. I hope so. I'm pulling for the guy. I mean, Joe Gacy, definitely that stuff is not working. No. It's cheesy as hell. I mean, clearly Braun Breaker's just going to come back. So he's supposed to come back next week and address him being kidnapped and then left out by some
left in the woods or something like that.
It was like near a lake, I think, in Orlando.
So maybe it was a lake in downtown Orlando. I don't know. It was night. It was dark. Couldn't really tell. There was grass. I noticed there was grass.
One thing that's totally working is Legado, the continuing feud between the families, Legados and as Tony D says, the Legados, and his crew. Of course, we had a kidnapping last week with what's his name? AJ. What is it?
AJ
Galante. And then this week, it was Raul Mendoza. Cruz del Toro. Sorry, yeah, Cruz del Toro was kidnapped, and by the other guys, and it concluded with a phone call. Where next week they're just going to settle it. Next week they're going to have a match.
They're going to have a match, and they're
which
settle it.
Should probably just wonk that finish, because you got to keep this going, man. This has to have. There's got to be some weird ass stipulation match they're going to come up with that has to do with mafiosos or cartels or some shit like that. And I have no idea what it would be. I was saying, if you really want to pop us, you bring in Marco Corleone, you bring in Mark Jindrak to reprise his Marco Corleone character.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Picadillo.
And the end, he just doles out drop kicks for everybody.
He gets Santos to get on the shoulders of Tony D.
Drop kicks them both.
He drop kicks them both.
Drop kicks them both.
Exactly. That'd be stellar. So I really like that stuff because, Santos just he got there on the phone call at the end and he says, "Hey, Tony." He said, "What?" He said, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it.
Did not see that coming.
I did not. I was hoping for it. I was like, oh, on the show tomorrow, I'm going to say he should have just said, "Fuck you." And then he said it.
And then he said it.
So that was pretty awesome. And then, like you mentioned, dude, it was all women's matches last night. It was kind of awesome.
And the main event was fantastic. So they've done a solid job building the story up between Natalya and Cora Jade. And man, this match was tons of fun. I feel like they've been trying to build up Cora into a main eventer.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
In the women's division. And she came off a little too much as kind of, oh, I'm happy to be here.
Sure. Absolutely.
I know she's had 2 title matches, and it didn't seem like, in my mind, she was. What's the word I'm looking for? I had it and I lost it. She walked in this match saying, "This is my chance to prove that I belong in the ring with Hall of Famers."
Mm-hmm, yeah. And
I think it was also her chance to prove that she belonged to be in the conversation again to be the next NXT Women's Champion.
Mm-hmm.
And home run. Absolute home run.
Match was great.
She hit this match. And
Yeah.
Natalya, even though Cora lost, Natalya did a hell of a job making Cora look great.
The story beat at the end was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
How Natalya believed that she had tapped out and said, they always tap. And then the ref was like, she didn't tap. She passed out. And then Natalya was like, wait, what? She's like, you didn't tap? And she's like, nah, man, I just passed out. And then she, showed her the respect there. Yeah.
Yep.
By the way, shout out to Matthew rating us with a party of 104. Thank you, Matthew. That's so nice. We're in the middle of our NXT 2.0 review.
We are.
Yeah, dude, I thought it was really, really good. I thought it was a really strong. So let's talk about this really quick.
All right.
We got the breakout tournament for their women's division. We got the brackets. You got one feud that's been going on for a while taking place on both sides. You got Nikita Lyons and Last Legend on opposite sides.
Yeah.
So that's one maybe. I see totally Nikita Lyons going to the finals. I think it's probably going to be because Roxanne Perez is on the other side.
Yeah, but I think Roxanne is going to be the Toxic Attraction is going to cost her a spot in the finals.
You think they're going to come back around to that because they sort of had their you don't think that was going to be done last night?
No, because
then they went up to Indy Hartwell afterwards and started giving her some static.
Yeah, I know, but then during that she said, "Oh, maybe Indy, you can go find Wendy Chu crying in a corner somewhere."
Yeah. Let's see here.
So I don't think that's done. I have a feeling that Toxic Attraction is going to cost Roxanne a shot to make it to the finals. I would be really surprised if it's not Nikita Lyons versus Lash Legend in the finals.
All right, so we've got
so Fallon Henley advanced.
We've got Nikita Lyons. Okay, on the other side, we're going to have Roxanne Perez and Kiana James.
Roxanne will win that. She'll win her first round.
She'll win that, and then Lash Legend and Tatum Paxley. Lash Legend should win that.
So I'm guessing Toxic Attraction is going to cost Roxanne her match against Lash Legend. That would be my guess.
That could be. In which case, doesn't Lash Legend have to win this thing then?
I would think so.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it all plays out.
We'll see. We will see.
Anyways, let's pay some bills one last time here on the show. Larson, let me go ahead and load this uphill real quick if I can find it. There it is. All right. Let's take a quick break here to get a word from our sponsor, Upside. I got to tell you, Larson.
What's that?
Every time I'm out getting gas or grabbing some food at a restaurant, I'm noticing that everything is more expensive. This inflation is really hitting me where it hurts. And man, does it hurt.
Yeah, I hear you, Steve, which is why I started using Upside buying gas or dining out, because Upside gives me cash back on those purchases. Bought everything from gas to burritos. With each purchase, I've gotten cash put back into my pocket so that later this week, maybe even tomorrow, I'm going to buy burritos with the cash back I got from buying burritos before.
Oh, man.
I tried it.
Perpetual burritos, Larson?
I mean, it's great. I've tried it, Steve. It really works, and it's great because it means I can get perpetual burritos, just burrito after burrito after burrito, just more burritos.
They buy themselves. But here's the thing, man. Upside is super easy. You just download the app from the App Store or Google Play, claim an offer on whatever you're buying, you check in, pay as you normally would with like a debit or credit card, and then bang, you get paid. That's it. You can cash out any time to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands.
And you can earn 3 times more cash back with Upside in comparison to credit card rewards or loyalty programs. So download the free Upside app and use promo code RAW to get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. That's $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more using promo code RAW. Before we get back to the show, let's get a word from our sponsor, First Person. You know, Steve.
Yep.
I think a lot of us wouldn't mind turning back the clock. You know, for some, it might be for vanity, for others to relive their glory days. But for me, I just want to wake up in the morning and feel rested and energized for the day like I did when I was younger, rather than feel tired and anxious.
Oh, wow.
And grumpy like I do now.
So grumpy always. Listen, man, I'm happy you mentioned all this because with First Person, you could take a more active role in your brain's overall health. First Person uses the brain-boosting medicinal benefits of mushrooms to activate the full potential of human cognition and brain health.
Yeah, I like the prospect of unlocking Larson's full potential. Tell me more so I can become Prime Larson, Steve.
Prime Larson. I can't wait to see Prime Larson. Here's the thing. First Person supplements are made with functional mushrooms that look to stimulate the body's natural production of specific neurotransmitters that trigger activities like energy, mood, and sleep. That's right. The Moonlight supplement aims to help you get best sleep, Larson.
Oh, best sleep sounds so good. Yeah, so start improving your brain health and cognition with First Person. Get 15% off your first order by going to getfirstperson.com and use code RAW. That's GETFIRSTPERSON.com. Use code RAW for 15% off your first order. Getfirstperson.com, code RAW.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. All right, man, let's dive into this NXT. It opens up with Joe Gacy leading masked Braun Breaker to the middle of nowhere. Of course, they're doing those cheesy VHS effects that I hate they do.
Yeah.
That's so annoying. And he's got a couple of
If you're going to do VHS effects, damn it, shoot it on VHS.
I know, exactly. He must be using an Android phone. He's got his goofy druids in the red velvet with him. And he's like, okay, Braun, it's time to be all alone. And he starts laughing maniacally. I'm like, okay, now he's the guy who laughed. Now he's just aping the Joker.
He's moo-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So after that, we had Toxic Attraction versus Roxanne Perez and Wendy Chu.
Yeah, it was a fun match. Roxanne and Wendy already have really good chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Wendy Chu is just endlessly entertaining with her gimmick she's been using of late. She starts out the match, so her music hits. Toxic Attraction is focused on the ramp, waiting for her to enter the ring, and Roxanne just kind of goes, hey, look over there. Wendy Chu lays out Gigi and JC with the top rope crossbody before the match even really starts. We get a lot of good back and forth. Eventually, though, Roxanne goes up top to try to hit a splash on Gigi, and then Mandy gets in the ring and kind of pulls Gigi out of the way. Mm-hmm. So then Wendy comes in, starts brawling with Mandy. That's distracting the ref. So Roxanne's going for code red on Gigi. JC Jane comes in, super kicks Roxanne. Gigi Dolan covers Roxanne to get the win. Afterwards, Wendy Chu lays out Gigi and JC. Mandy then comes from behind, blasts her with the title.
Yeah.
He probably so it doesn't really seem quite done yet.
It's not really over, huh? Yeah.
No.
Blood and guts. After that, we had this little bit where Tiffany Stratton and Grayson Waller go shopping. You know, it's funny, man. Whenever Grayson Waller's in I'm coming around to him bit by bit. His backstage stuff. He is as a character. He's irritating, but lately he's been pretty damn funny too. He's finding these little one-liners here and there. He's getting more comfortable doing the comedy stuff as opposed to just, hey, I'm obnoxious and I'm a reality show guy. his character's really developing a comedic streak that I really appreciate. And I saw a little bit of this in this little shopping bit, and there wasn't a lot to it. They just sort of, are out shopping. They start talking some shit about like Chasey or whatever. And Tiffany talked some shit about Saray.
Yeah.
And then they go about their business. But I like the chemistry between these two as well. I think Tiffany Stratton's doing a decent job with their character.
Yeah. I think so too. Then we get the Creed brothers. Roddy's doing some sparring. And they're like, hey, we want to talk. And Roddy's like, hey, I hope you guys still aren't mad about what happened last week. You did get the W. And Julius Creed says, you knew the Viking Raiders were undefeated in NXT, and now we won. And the Raiders, they got their lone loss, and it's tainted because of you. This was supposed to be a test for us. But when the moment came and we were digging deep, you interjected yourself. And Roddy just says, you guys should be thanking me. Brutus says, it's not about the win. It's about how we won. No more excuses. No more shortcuts. Next week, we'll face the Viking Raiders again, except we're going to beat them the right way. So you better believe in us. And Roddy's like, yeah, I believe in you guys. You're going to be tag champions one day. Believe in you so much, I brought in another guy. He's been calling me about joining Dynamite. Here's Damon Kip. And Julius just says, I thought new members joining was a group decision. Roddy just says, yeah, they used to be. And Julia says, all right, we'll talk about this later. I thought Roddy was really great in this whole thing.
Because he was sort of undisputed era Roddy, and I like that. That was my favorite Roderick Strong. He can show off some personality when he's given an opportunity. It's just a shame we didn't get to see much of this Roddy interact with Malcolm Bivens.
I know,
before he took it, because that could have been really good.
Yeah.
Instead, they played it a lot more straight. Oh, man. So I'm not going to talk about this whole thing. We had a Joe Gacy promo come out. He brought a couple of his Performance Center druids with him. Talks about leaving Braun Breaker in the wilderness because he has to face the next chapter of his journey all alone. Blah, blah, blah.
Pretty much it's like these druids are two people who stood out, who joined me. Braun, you can join me too. If you don't, affliction and hardship are going to be there for you. So I guess the speculation is now, who are the druids?
Yes, boys.
Oh God.
I mean, it's not, because I came from UK, but how amazing would it be?
Pretty funny. That'd be pretty funny.
If it was pretty deadly. Ooh, yes, boys.
Like I was sitting there watching it this morning. I was like, okay, is that Grizzled Young Veterans? Is that
that's
Gibson
right.
And Drake?
No, it can't be. Hold on.
Because the one to Gacy's right was a taller of the two. And like Drake's a little bit shorter than Gibson. Well, the one on Gacy's left was the taller one. The one on Gacy's right was the shorter one. I'm like, oh, damn, is that Gibson and Drake?
Let me see if there's any hint. What is he? They got Gibson's got Twitter, right?
I think so.
What is it with a K?
But you couldn't tell much because they were like pretty much head to ankle red crushed velvet. You see their hands and you see their boots, and that was it.
Yeah, he hasn't said nothing since that one tweet. Damn, dude. Yeah, man. It might be. Anyways, we're backstage. Bodie's hyping up Andre Chase for his match against Waller. Saray steps in, says, I heard what Waller and Stratton said her, and she speaks in Japanese. She's saying, I heard what, and they have the subtitles. So I heard what Waller and Stratton said earlier. I can't stand them. I want to do a mixed tag match tonight. And Chase is like, I'm sorry, I can't understand what you're saying. And Bodie's like, no, I understand. She wants to do a mixed tag match tonight. And he's like, wait, you speak Japanese? He's like, yeah, we got a foreign language department. And he's like, Chase says, oh, man, we do? That's awesome.
Yeah. The delivery on that was really good.
It was. Chase he's fucking funny, man.
He is.
So Saray says, I can't forgive Waller and Stratton. I'm so upset I want to tear them apart. And Bodie's about to interpret, and Chase says, nah, man, I get the gist. I'm going to make sure this match is made official. And then the funniest shit is Saray in Japanese says, and that's a teachable moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that was really clever. It was pretty funny.
It was. Then we got the first of several vignettes for the Ivy Nile challenge.
Yeah.
So it's her and then, I don't know, like a dozen guys.
Mm-hmm.
And the first activity is push-ups.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's just there doing a bunch of push-ups. And like at a certain point, I think one guy stopped doing push-ups. He couldn't do them anymore.
That would have been me.
And she says, yeah, me too.
I'd have been in the first group.
I know. She says, by the end of the night, I will be the last one standing.
Man, she is jacked.
Yeah,
she is like when they were doing the pull-ups later on, I was like, oh my God.
I know.
That's nuts.
Yeah, she is jacked.
So anyways, after that, we had the breakout tournament match, Fallon Henley versus Sloane Jacobs. Poor Sloane. Briggs and Jensen come out. What was the shirt that Jensen was wearing? It said something about virginity. It's like Virginity Rocks or something like that.
I was trying to read that too, and I didn't
get what the second word was. Maybe somebody in chat has it. So anyways, they come out and they're like rooting her on, and it kind of distracts Sloane a little bit. But the match continues. Fallon Henley gets the win with a Shining Wizard, and then they all celebrate in the ring, and Jensen's like raising the hand of Sloane Jacobs a little too much, and she's like, give me my hand back, dude.
Yeah.
He's so awkward. It's great.
Yeah, he is really awkward. Then we get a Legato interview. Santos says, when you live in my world, you treat disrespect with a swift response. He says AJ Galante should have never been at the meeting last week. But when he sat down there at the table, he was then fair game. He knows the rules. He could never survive on Legato streets. He says Tony D'Angelo's crew is going to learn the hard way. You don't get involved in Legato's business and just walk away, much less walk again. Cruz, start the car.
Start the car. After that, Cruz walks to Legato's SUV, starts it up, and then he gets attacked by Tony D and his crew. They put him in the trunk of a Toyota Camry. I love that you noticed, of a Camry, and they drive off. Yeah. Legato's got the edge when it comes to cars, man. That's a nice looking SUV. It's like an Escalade.
Yeah, it's a nice SUV. Maybe it was a rental Camry. They rented it.
Yeah, that could be. Well, yeah, to disguise who did it. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. After that, we had Amari Miller versus Alba Fire. Preceding this match, they showed last time we saw Amari Miller was that nasty bit with was it Lash Legend where she got herself hurt. So she's back to take an ass whooping from Alba Fire, but she got a lot of her shit in, so that was cool.
She did. This was a fairly competitive match. Before during the match, they showed a bit of the Ivy Nile challenge. They moved on to burpees. At that point, 3 burpees in, I'd say done.
And you see that happen. A couple dudes like, can't do this, man. I'm gonna go back to podcasting.
Like not worth it. Anyways, Alba Fire gets the win here. It's a pretty fun finishing sequence. So Amari Miller trips up Alba Fire, hits a penalty kick, gets a 2 count, and then Alba hits a kick, a headbutt, gory bomb, then goes up top, hits a swanton to get the win.
Sick looking swanton too.
She's got new presentation, new gear, everything.
Yeah. Somebody had mentioned before they had made a reference to Elden Ring. Alba Fire, Elden Ring, whatever. That nerd game everybody plays.
Wow.
No, I only say that because I would suck so bad at it. I'm not good at those hard games, Larson.
No, nor am I.
I need easy mode every time. After that, Mello and Trick arrive at the Performance Center. Man, Mello had that jogging suit, that track suit. Oh, it's beautiful.
Great.
So they arrive, and they walk up to the door, and Solo Sikoa is standing there, says, "Not today, fellas," and then locks them out. Yeah. And he's like, what the hell? He's like, "We're getting in there. Let's go around."
They go around the back.
They go around the back.
Then we get a Cora Jade interview. She's asked, is she nervous facing Natalya? And she goes, of course I'm nervous. I'm facing a legend in the main event, but Natalya isn't facing the same little girl she took photos with. She's not facing the same person she DM'd a year ago, or even the same person she cheap shotted a month ago. Cora says, I'm ready. Natalya thinks she's the gatekeeper in the women's division, but tonight I bust that gate open and prove Natalya and everyone else that I belong in the ring with a Hall of Famer.
Yep. So then we get a Solo Sikoa promo. He comes out. People are going crazy for him, man. They love
he's
Solo.
Great.
He's awesome. They start chanting, ooh, so, ooh, so. And he says, this was supposed to be Mello and Trick's time, but it's my time now. So they're going to come out and talk about the North American title. We already know what happened last week. If Mello wants a one-on-one title shot, that's cool. I'm going to be right there watching, but I'm letting everybody know that I've got next. He says, I don't care if it's Mello or Grimes. I want the winner. Grimes comes out. People start booing this guy.
They were chanting, you got lucky.
Oh, man. I feel so bad because this is not his thing.
No.
He is not supposed to be boring good guy, man. It doesn't work. Honorable
He's
guy.
To be TNA superstar Trevor Lee.
He's supposed to be a scumbag. He plays scumbag so perfectly.
I know.
So anyways, Grimes comes out, and you could tell he is trying not to crack with all these people just shouting him down. He says, I respect you, Solo, and I understand that you want another chance at this title. However, In Your House is going to be Carmelo versus Grimes, 1-on-1. He says, but have no fear because after I beat Melo, I'm going to give you my word that I'm going to give you a title shot. He offers his hand and Solo just walks out. And then Trick and Melo attack Grimes from behind. Solo turns around and Trick is setting up a chair to stick Grimes' head in it, and Melo's going up top. And he's going to hit that leg drop of his. And then Solo comes running in, breaks up that situation. He clears both Trick and Melo from the ring, helps Grimes up, picks up the North American title, and then Grimes takes it back from him. Crowd boos him.
Yep.
Like, no, you suck.
Yep. People want Solo as champion. Then we're back in the parking lot. Legato's walking to their SUV. They come upon it. It's still running. No Cruz del Toro in sight. Santos says, I know what this is all about. I'm going to make the call. So he calls Tony D'Angelo, and Tony answers. And he goes, Santos says to him, whoever took Cruz is in big trouble. Huge mistake. And Tony's like, why are you telling me this? I have nothing to do with this. AJ Galante went missing too. Maybe they end up in the same place. And Santos says, oh, that's doubtful. Word is AJ's in rough shape. And then Tony says, well, if you let AJ go, I'll pop the trunk and let Cruz breathe a little bit. And next week we can settle this. And Santos accepts and says, but right now you got to let Cruz out. And you just sealed your fate. Tony starts getting mad. He says, you don't make the threats around here. I'm the Don of NXT. I do. He says, I'm going to beat you so bad next week, your mother won't recognize you.
And Santos goes kind of quiet.
Yeah.
And Tony D says, hey, are you still there?
Yeah.
Santos says, yeah, I'm here. Hey, Tony. What? Fuck you.
Yeah.
And then Tony gets pissed, flips over a table, and one of his goons says, really? Come on now. What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? This damn thing is way more entertaining than it should be, man. But it's perfect. If you're going to introduce a guy like Tony D'Angelo and you already got Legato there doing their thing, this works too well, and they're doing a really good job. But the delight on Santos's face when he drops the fuck you,
said F you, I know,
was so great. It was really good. After that, we had a Nathan Frazier interview. He said, he says, I'm very excited for NXT. Wait, he said he's very excited for NXT.
Yeah, because before his interview, they had ran a promo for NXT UK.
Oh, okay. He says, I'm still on cloud 9 after beating Waller. He says, but tonight I'm a fan and I'm rooting for Chase University. And Zion Quinn steps up and says, hey, keep your head down, run it straight, and work hard, and you'll be fine. And then Frazier's like, thanks, but what does run it straight mean? It's hilarious that they have a character with a catchphrase that people openly are like,
that no one understands. I know. Because Wesley steps in and is like, here, another person who doesn't know what that means.
Yeah. And Zion isn't phased. He says, I already put you in your place. I don't want to do the same with you, Frazier. Because Zion's a mumbler.
He is a mumbler.
I think he thinks that he's doing like cool
tough
guy. Yeah. Tough guy, cool guy, understated. But he just comes off as a mumbler who says shit that people don't understand.
I know. So Frazier's like, well, I didn't mean anything by, okay, bye. And he just leaves.
Yeah.
He just walks out.
Yeah.
And then Lee says, it didn't get under his skin. And he says, but you're going to run it straight with me? And then Quinn says, you don't have to go through all the pain that I put you through before. And Lee says, I'll be there. Just make sure that you are medically cleared.
Mm-hmm. Better run it straight. What?
I don't know what that means.
Run it straight.
I have no idea what that means.
Your problem is you don't run it straight.
What does that mean?
You want some peaches? After that, we had Tiffany Stratton and Grayson Waller versus Saray and Andre Chapman. This is kind of the same. What are you talking about? Run it straight. What peaches? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Versus
I want to know what kind of peaches.
Saray and Andre Chase.
This was tons of fun.
This was great. And they even do the thing like they're backstage and Saray and they're like, are you going to wrestle like that? She said, nope. And then of course they all three of them go through the entrance, the smoky mystical entrance, and Chase is leveled up. Instead of a red shirt, now he's got a blue shirt.
Powder blue shirt.
A powder blue Chase.
And I don't know if he always wrestles in Jordan 11s, but he was wrestling in Jordan 11s this match.
Right. Yeah. And Bodie was like, I guess, like dressed like a cheerleader. Is that what he was? That kind of makes sense. He had like pigtails all of a sudden, and then like a cropped shirt, and he had like a big flag when he didn't before, I think. And then of course Saray was all in her superhero getup.
Yeah.
And this was fun. My only problem with this, because this is a really fun match, and Tiffany is really coming along as a wrestler. She's a lot of fun to watch. They don't let Saray do the full drop kick. She does it, and I get it. You're being safe, but like it used to be brutal when she would kill somebody with this thing, and now like they don't really even let it connect all that much. They just sort of fall out of the ring when it happens. And that's kind of a bummer to me. Like, I don't know. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but it was a really awesome drop kick before, and now it sort of
awesome drop kick.
Doesn't really have the same impact anymore.
Yeah, I get that. Safety first, though, Steve.
I want to see somebody just get annihilated, man. That was it was amazing to watch those back in the day.
It was amazing. So Grayson Waller eats one of those drop kicks. Saray rolls up Stratton to get the win. After Bodie blasts the air horn to distract Tiffany. She takes him out with a plancha, gets back in the ring. Saray rolls her up. After that, back to the Ivy Nile challenge. Now they're in the parking lot doing lunges. Again, 2 or 3 of these. Done.
I'm out. My knees are grinding. They hurt.
This is the point when I'd start vomiting in the parking lot because I'm exhausted.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Oh, why did I have 5 Del Taco grilled chicken soft tacos right before we did this?
I know. I was trying to give myself some energy. Instead, I'm vomiting in the parking lot.
That's the most dangerous place to be. You might slip on my vomit. After that, we had a Von Wagner interview, but he doesn't want to talk. He just pushes the mic over to Robert Stone. He says, our actions are very simple. If you step to Von Wagner, he'll continue to demolish you. Von is then attacked by Ikemen Jiro. Refs and producers come in to break it up.
And everybody's just living it. Then Indy Hartwell, she's sitting in the break room. Mandy walks up to her and says, I understand you're going through a lot of stuff right now. I just want to check in on you. I can't imagine what it's like going through what you're going through. Indy says, oh, thanks. It's been crazy. My soul is empty. I feel like I've lost everything. And Mandy goes, no. I said, I can't imagine what it feels like to be going through what you're going through because no man has ever left me. And then JC says, hey, maybe you should go find Wendy Chu. Maybe she's crying in a corner somewhere. And then Gigi just calls her a loser.
Yeah, loser. After that, we had Nikita Lyons versus Ariana Grace. I believe Ariana Grace is Santino's daughter.
That's correct.
And yeah, this was a lot of fun. Grace has a promo before this, says Lyons is the favorite to win, but don't count me out. I'm going to pull off the upset and advance to the second round. That did not happen. No. She got some of her shit in, but in the end, Nikita Lyons hits that awesome spin kick after a German suplex and then gets the splits pin for the win.
We're back to the Ivy Nile challenge. Now it's time for pull-ups. And not just any pull-ups. It's probably another 10, 20 pounds of metal chain around you, too, while you got to do the pull-ups.
And it was just her and one other fella, yeah.
Overhand pull-ups.
Yeah.
The really hard ones.
Yeah, this was nuts. Like to see all the muscles in her back, like
I know,
just working. Oh my god! And then the other dude, there was only one guy left. He was keeping up with her, and then he couldn't anymore.
Nope.
But still, kudos to that fella for hanging in there as long as he did.
Yeah,
because they went through a lot. He's gonna be hurting today, man.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, she and just in this segment, she probably did what 7, 8, 9 pull-ups.
Easily, like it was nothing.
With an extra 20 pounds.
Yeah,
easily,
like it was nothing. Yeah,
easily. Then we got a Viking Raiders promo. They talk about they respect the Creed brothers for not wanting to accept the tainted victory, but it's hard to find men with honor and respect this business. But next week, honor and respect, that's put to the side when the bell rings. Raids come and blah blah blah. They're not going to lose again.
Yeah. After that, we had Cora Jade versus Natalya. That was our main event. And yeah, man, like you said, this was just a killer match. A really good stuff. I mean, dude, if you want a really good match with pretty much anybody, you put him in there with Natalya. I mean, she kind of is. I could see she has a claim to be in the boat, man. She talks about it. She is really good.
She is really good.
And yeah, like I mentioned,
has been for a very long time.
Absolutely. Like I mentioned, Cora ends up getting locked in a sharpshooter. She reaches for the ropes, but Natalya keeps on bringing her back. That happens again. And then Natty just sits down. This is the deepest I think I've ever seen a sharpshooter. She sat on it deep. And Cora wouldn't tap. And then passes out. And then they ring the bell, and Natalia's like, they always tap. And the ref's like, she didn't tap. It's fiction. She didn't tap.
Yeah.
And then Natalia was like, what? Really? You didn't tap? She was like, you're good. You're real good. Mm-hmm. And they hugged, and she pointed at her, saying, this person's good.
Good match. Great match. Hell of a match.
Great match.
Go out of your way and check it out.
I forgot to load up the Level Up review. So our YouTubers and our audio listeners are going to listen to Enforcer's awesome Level Up review here in just a moment for the live Twitch chat. Apologies.
Sorry.
And really, this hurts me more than anything. We're sort of doing things like in a different way here, so like I totally forgot about that. I need to pay closer attention.
It'll be in the VOD though.
It'll be in the VOD. So here it is. I'm going to throw to it, and then I'm going to stop the recording and bring it back up.
Same.
Hey, friendos, how's it going? It's the Enforcer here, once again with another edition of the review show that nobody asked for, but you're going to get it anyway. It's time for the Level Up Lowdown. Kicking things off, we've got Tatum Paxley and Ivy Nile versus Saray and Erica Yan. Saray is disappointed as of late with her recent outcomes with Tiffany Stratton, so she's hoping this match will help get her back onto the right track. Right, so to kick things off, we've got Ivy and Saray. Quickly, there was a tag to Tatum. Tatum loses advantage. Saray gets a running kick and a kip up. Quick tag to Yan. A lot of near falls in quick succession. Yan tries for a backslide. You get a 2 count. Crowd appreciates the hard work, the quick back and forth that they were doing here. Ivy and Saray in now, and Ivy is taking it to Saray. Tatum... One thing here later on in the match, Tatum Paxley has Saray up for a body slam, but before she does the slam, she gets a squat in real quick and then finishes the body slam. Later on, a little bit of rest hold action with some aggressiveness. Commentators were mentioning that maybe some of Ivy Nile's aggression is rubbing off on Tatum Paxley. Once we get down to the finish, Erica, Yan, and Ivy Nile are in there. Ivy gets a nice kick into her submission where she gets the head back here, and then she brings the other arm around to lock it into place. Quick tap for that one. Second match, we've got Sloane Jacobs versus Thea Hale. They mentioned here that Thea is the youngest member of the NXT roster at 18 years of age, fighting Sloane Jacobs, also youngster at 19. They said that Thea Hale is from Spartan blood, and she's calling herself the Goddess of War. We'll see how long that lasts. Thea is all energy. She came out with her usual cape, flexing on fools, and then the bell rings. She gets in a nice yell, continues to flex. I will say this, both of these superstars, extremely green, so there was a lot of headlocks, a lot of punches, a lot of kicks, but a lot of, I'd say, energy and enthusiasm from Thea Hale, which I think in a couple years she gets some seasoning. If they give her enough time, I could see action, or I don't want to say action, but a lot of upside to her. But again, 18 years of age. Sloane Jacobs, one of the women in the breakout tournament. So the finish here comes down to Jacobs gets Hale up on her shoulders and then does that fall away sort of slam, face first, gets the 1, 2, 3, saying that, Sloane gained some momentum for the breakout tournament. Now in our last match, I don't know if this is really the main event. I would say the main event for me was commentary, because we had, let me make sure I get this right, Dante Chen and Javier Bernal versus Channing Stax Lorenzo and Troy Two Dimes Donovan. These are the new henchmen for Tony D'Angelo. Tony D'Angelo the whole time was on commentary, and he was just running down the two commentators about why you asking so many questions, what's going on. Wasn't really giving a lot of encouragement to stacks, and 2 dimes. Every time they would lose advantage, he would say, oh, hold on a minute, guys. Like, come on, guys, let's get this thing together here. Really, I think this match was just for Tony D'Angelo to talk on commentary. So he was doing the usual tropes of the mob boss that you'd have there. In the end, they get a blind tag to take control, they being Stacks and 2 dimes. They end up getting a double boot onto Chen for a 1, 2, 3. And then the other thing that I thought was funny, after they did all the replays, Tony D'Angelo comes into the ring, goes on and greases the referee with a C note, basically shakes his hand, gives him the kisses on the cheeks, and then away we go. So Tony getting his goons a win by nefarious means, either greasing the ref or doing something like that. So anyway, that main event was really for Tony D'Angelo to talk on commentary and then to establish his 2 henchmen, Stacks and 2 dimes. All right, Steve, hopefully you were able to give a bunch of likes on your Twitter, your Instagram. Larson, I don't know, stare off into space or something, whatever, man. Guys, take care. Have a good one. I'll see you on the next one.
Thank you, Enforcer, for what was surely a rousing episode of the review nobody wants. Nobody asked for. I'm sorry, nobody asked for. Everybody wants it. Nobody asked for it.
I want it.
I want it, too. Level Up. Sounded like
Level
a great
Up.
episode this week, by the way. I think. I don't know. Maybe he said it was a dude. I don't know. Enforcer, do you want to go to GCW's Maniac the same night as the other show that we're going to?
Yeah, Enforcer's here in chat.
It's got some good matches on it.
It's a good card.
It's got some good matches.
Good card.
Blake Christian versus Kevin Blackwood. Bandito versus Nick Wayne. So the idea is from 2 to 5, we do LA fights. Go get some Roscoe's, chill out, hang out with Ulysses. And then like at 8 or whatever, go to GCW's Maniac. Just throwing that out there. See what the Enforcer has to say about that. Let's go ahead and answer some questions, man.
Yeah, let's answer a few questions. Why don't we?
Let's see here. Quick reminder, patreon.com/Stephen Larson. If you can't make the show live, you want to leave us a question, you can do that on the Patreon. Patreon.com/Stephen Larson. Got a couple new patrons here. House GFX, Mason Crabtree, Gregory Mullen, Cody Martinez, Just Josh, Nick Mazzaferro, and Josh Fields. All new patrons. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support. We definitely appreciate it. Let's take a look here. We got a couple of questions here on the Patreon. Cameron asks, how does NXT's women's division stack up with AEW's? I was really impressed and into all the matches last night. So obviously AEW has more veterans on their roster. I like that they are finding more opportunities for women on TV in NXT. I mean, that being said, AEW, they have a very good women's division. It's just unfortunately they don't find a lot of time for it on TV.
Yeah, hopefully that changes. I mean, we saw on Rampage this week, we got 2 women's matches.
Yeah.
Hopefully Tony Khan was watching NXT this week and taking notes about how to feature more women on his show. And maybe in the future, we'll get more than 1 match per episode of Dynamite and Rampage because the AEW women's division has a lot of really great talent.
Yeah.
Just want to see them more.
Alex Foster says, what vehicle would your faction use to kidnap people in the NXT parking lot?
I'd get my hands on whatever that 3-wheel vehicle that Vikingo and Phoenix rode into their match at Triple Mania.
Stellar. Yeah.
It'd be that.
And then I'd hide them in time somewhere because it's clearly a time machine of some sort.
Maybe, perchance, it could be. Cornbread Haas, as I saw Mandy Rose eating bison meatloaf on Instagram. I guess bison isn't that weird, but it got me thinking, what's the weirdest, craziest, interesting animal you've ever eaten?
I think I had like, and I don't know how weird or interesting this is, but I think when I was a kid, I had like crocodile or gator or something like that.
Yeah, I've had crocodile before.
But I honestly don't remember dick about it. Like I was a kid.
It was good. I remember I had it like a Cajun festival after college, and it was good.
Yeah.
I've had elk, I think. I've had escargot. That's snail. Had octopus once.
Yeah. Let's see.
Probably the weirdest.
Mayor Planet uses, I know WWE probably wouldn't do anything this cool, so book an invasion angle of NXT 2.0 by NXT UK. leading to their own Survivor Series style pay-per-view called Revolutionary War. That's bringing back some memories, huh? You want to stir the pot like that, man. We're allies now. How about call it tea and scones?
Oh, there we go. Bangers and Smash.
Bangers and Smash, yeah. It would start with Bert and Del Boy coming over.
There you go.
You know, saying, "Oi, I smuggled some McVitie's digestives.
Wow.
Would you like some?" And then they open up as just Duke.
There you go.
And that's the
Poop in there.
opening salvo right there.
Poop.
It's a Dookie.
Poop.
Yeah.
I'll
add some kebabs.
Showtime's asking who wins tonight, Dax or Adam Cole Baby. It's probably gonna be Adam Cole Baby.
Adam Cole Baby. That nerd is gonna be wearing his Bret Hart socks. I saw that on Twitter.
Oh, Dax, yeah.
Yeah. What a nerd, man. Be original. Be new.
He likes Bret Hart.
Too much. That's his gimmick
Adam
now.
Cole.
He's a Bret Hart fan.
Adam Cole is going to win. It's going to set up FTR versus Redragon, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that.
And FTR will beat Redragon, and then they'll, I would think, eventually get the tag titles.
This is a good question from Xavier Gray. Who do you think should dethrone Toxic Attraction of all the gold in NXT 2.0?
After last night, I feel like Cora Jade should get the women's title.
It's got to be Cora Jade.
Yeah. As far as the tag titles?
Honestly, if it was Cora Jade, I wouldn't be shocked if it was Cora Jade and Wendy Chu and Roxanne, maybe, after all is said and done. Maybe. We'll see. They seem to really like Toxic Attraction, though.
Yeah.
Might be a while before we see those titles leave.
It could be.
Yeah. Anyways, that's going to do it for us. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks to our sponsors of the show. We appreciate it. Tonight, of course, after Dynamite, we got our AEW review. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Stone Cold Steve Austin impersonator Phil McDonald, here to tell you to go support Going In Raw and Friendo Club at patreon.com/Steven Larson. They got bonus episodes, ad-free audio, a weekly newsletter rounding up the weekend wrestling news, and a bunch more. Patreon.com/Steven Larson. Go support or get hit with a stunner.